Singing from your throat, especially when you're singing high notes, is often the number one thing that makes you sound like a dying cat. But it's okay. It's a rite of passage for all singers. It's all good. Hi guys, today we're going to talk about how not to sing from your throat. You're singing from your throat mainly because of two reasons. You're not supporting your sound and or because you're not opening up the resonating space that's required for effortless singing. First, let's talk about supporting your sound. Your support mechanism is your core, your ab muscles, the front, the sides, as well as the lower back muscles. If these muscles are not engaged, you naturally resort to controlling your sound with your throat and your jaw. So to prevent that from happening, we're going to do an exercise that you want to do as often as you can to build muscle memory so your support mechanism gets used every time you sing. So we're going to do a 5-note scale on Z or V. Z or V. You can choose whatever you like. Before we go into it though, I want you to make sure that you don't collapse the space inside your mouth when you do the or Z. So it's not collapsed. It's not Z. Imagine there's an ah inside your mouth as you do this exercise. So either a Z or a V. I'm going to do a Z. Ready? And Z. And feel your support mechanism engage as you do this. Ready? And Z. Going, but doing your vocal exercise on a Z or singing through your song through a Z or a V is a good way to practice engaging your support mechanism because you can really feel that engage, right? Z or V. Now let's talk about high notes. The main reason high notes feel hard for some people is because they take too much of their chest voice up into their head voice. And that's because they don't know how to open up the resonating space for their head voice. So let me show you how to do that. So when you breathe in, you want to breathe in through your nose and your mouth into your nasal cavity, the space behind your nose. And you want to do a siren. Oh! And imagine the sound coming from above that space, your nasal cavity, your nasal chamber. Oh! And you feel the sound vibrating and resonating here. That's what you want to feel. If you don't feel that as much, if you don't feel that space, you can try pushing your cheeks up like this and going, oh, oh. You can probably feel it more here after you push your cheeks up a little bit. And another way to do it is to go, and really bring the sound up here. And you feel your sound vibrating and resonating in the mask. And when you get used to that, you're gonna switch to an ah, but a very wide ah to feel the sound coming from here. So and make sure that you're breathing into your nasal cavity. Now we're going to drop our cheeks to a normal ah. But when you do that, make sure the sound doesn't drop, that it's still placed high. So let's try it. Breathe in. So the sound still goes out and forward rather than down. So you don't want you don't want the sound to fall. There's going to be more warmth and more, I guess, darkness to the sound as you open up the ah, but make sure the brightness, the ping, stays forward. And that prevents you from making the sound go into your throat. Let's try it on a higher note. And you can do this on a lower note. Make sure that the sound doesn't go into your throat. That's a common problem for a lot of people. When they sing lower notes, they think that they push the sound down into their throat. And so it sounds throaty and it often goes out of tune. So let's try doing maybe a little lower. Make sure the sound is forward and has a ping, and you can feel the resonance here more. Let's try on a lower note. Make sure that when you open up to an that you still feel the buzz here. And if you don't, it will likely go into your throat. And lastly, let's try a siren and just cover all of our high notes, middle notes, and lower notes. And as you breathe into your nasal cavity and feel that, you want to do this if you can't really feel it, if you can't access that. And as you go down, see if you can maintain the feeling of buzziness here, even on the high notes, even as you go down. And you can also use your fingers, and just kind of like visually follow your fingers down and out so that the sound doesn't go down and into your throat. So let's try it one more time. Breathe in. So that did not go into your throat. And let me show you an example of how it sounds when it goes into your throat. So you want to go, and that goes into the throat. So see if you can go, and out. And you can feel it more. You can feel it more in your chest. If the sound is going into your throat, you can feel it in the throat. And make sure that your sound is supported the whole time you're doing this exercise, especially the siren, that your core is engaged, your lower back is engaged. Hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I will get to them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.